This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Nick, before you give me any grief, I know I'm wearing an Orioles shirt and I have a Giants hat. The Giants hat was given to me as a birthday present by my buddy Lanny, so I just want to let you know.
And you're wearing Arizona State shorts, too.
And Arizona, well, I support all of the athletics. All right, anyway, just want to get that out of the way. Let's tell you that our program today is being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. And again, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich is available for a limited time at all participating Taco John's here in Cheyenne. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, where my buddy AJ along with Greg, you know, they have a lot full of the Kia family that needs to move out the 2019. So you're going to find some special pricing on display right now from Key of Cheyenne. The 20s are coming in like the 2020 Telluride. What a fantastic SUV from Kia. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank Types 2, banking done the old-fashioned way, done the high-technology way. That would be next way, and then everything in between. Maybe you need a HELOC or you're looking for an auto loan, a home loan. Talk with our good friends first at Platte Valley Bank. You'll find them over on Vanda High and at the corner of College and Pershing. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange. Ray and Cindy's Place right across from Powers Field. And, of course, from Menards. 2 convenient drive-thrus. They're serving up 3 squares Monday through Saturday. Delicious breakfast. Trust me, if you haven't had breakfast at Chick-fil-A, you definitely want to go to Ray and Cindy's Place. And for a limited time, clock is ticking down for that Strawberry Passion Tea Lemonade along with their Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. Again, you snooze, you lose. It's going to be here for at least a couple more weeks. That's all I can tell you. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Delrange. Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, open Monday through Saturday. Shop inside with your doctor's prescription or use the convenient drive-thru located next door to Texas Roadhouse on Bluegrass Circle. First Year Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday, offering some great rates right now on CDs with fantastic annual percentage yields. For example, 27-month CD, how about a 3.1% annual percentage yield? Talk with our good friends today. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center, part of Lennox Enterprises, founded by Dick Lennox, the tradition carried on by his daughter Heather for a quarter century. They've been taking care of our vehicle needs in our part of the world. See them today, whether you need it repaired or you want it cleaned up. If you want it cleaned up or maybe you need a new windshield, see them over on Pershing Boulevard. And if you need it fixed up, see them over on Dunn Avenue, Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Paisan cuisine at its best. Joe Mondello and family. And family recipes, not corporate, family recipes. Fresh, delicious. Whether it's pizza, stromboli, calzones, or you go with their sandwiches on the fresh baked bread, you're going to enjoy Paisan cuisine at its best. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. We'll go to the scoreboard. It's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Watch how fast it comes back to me.
Well, again, I have nothing on the local side as all of the summertime sports have wrapped up on at least the Cheyenne Mustangs route. Again, Cheyenne Post 6, Cheyenne Extreme, again, on the softball side of things. But do want to remind folks coming up, or at least throughout this week, it's been Post 6 baseball tryouts over at Powers Field. Coming up tonight, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Incoming freshmen. That is your tryout date for Cheyenne Post 6. Incoming sophomores and seniors, or at least through seniors, that is 7 o'clock to 8:30 tonight at Powers Field. Upcoming tomorrow at Powers Field for the Indian squad. They're part of the Cheyenne Post 6 family. That is incoming 8th graders. That is 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Again, with both of these tryouts happening today and tomorrow at Powers Field. Again, reminder that these tryouts are completely free, but do please arrive 30 minutes before these tryouts so you can pre-register and warm up and get all ready for that.
Major League Baseball matinee performances for this Wednesday afternoon. Top of the 8th inning at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. Astros and the Pale Hose. The White Sox, they are knotted up at 9 apiece. Bottom of the 7th inning in Milwaukee at Miller Park. Twins 5, Brewers 3. Top of the 6th at Coors Field. Diamondbacks and the Rockheads, they are knotted up at 2 apiece. Bottom of the 4th inning at Petco. Padres 4, Rays 2. Athletics on top of the Giants 4-0 in San Francisco at Oracle. Again, that's in the top of the 5th. Top of the 4th has the Nationals leading the Reds 1-0 at Nats Park. Final that is in the books. Matter of fact, we do have some early finals. The Rangers have topped the Blue Jays today 7-3. Yankees in the Bronx, they sweep aside the Baltimore Orioles 6-5. Red Sox over the Indians at Progressive Field 5-1. Getting underway when we get done. Cubs and the Phillies at Citizens Bank Ballpark. M's and the Tigers at Comerica. Also in the 5 o'clock hour, the Dodgers Marlins at Marlins Park in Miami. Bravos will host the Mets at SunTrust Park in Cumberland, Georgia. 6 o'clock game will have the Angels in SoCal. Angel Stadium, Anaheim. They'll entertain the Pittsburgh Pirates at interleague play. And the I-70 series continues with the Cardinals and the Royals at Kauffman Stadium. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi.
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
The end of the summer is in sight. Did you accomplish all of your home improvements and remodeling projects? Whether you're remodeling your kitchen or adding a little extra space for your growing family, the Home Equity Line of Credit with Platte Valley Bank can help you finish what you want to complete this summer. So stop in and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a Home Equity Line of Credit with Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All lines of credit are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply.
In life, you question everything. The same should be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab & Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra Chicken Sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 85. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 51.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
We welcome you to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Perotti, Nick Perotti, and our very special guest, and we thank him so much for taking time out of his busy day, Dr. Boyd Brown, joining us, Superintendent of Laramie County School District number 1. And again, second year on the job, and again, coming down from the Razor City to take over the superintendent duties at Laramie County School District number 1. So, Dr. Brown, thank you so much for joining us today.
And a busy guy as well, too. Even though school is out right now for summertime months, he's still busy working for at least getting everything settled up for 2019-2020 across at least Laramie County School District number 1. So, again, I guess I'll start off with that question for Superintendent, just kind of tongue-in-cheek. Have you had a summertime vacation like your teacher staff? I mean, have you had a chance to break at this point in time yet?
So, Nick, I really appreciate that question because this summer's been pretty busy for me. June 10th, I had my left knee replaced. I had a spent youth. I played football, basketball, wrestling, track in high school, rodeoed a little bit in high school, and then went on to play college football over at the University of Wyoming. So my misspent youth wound up costing me a left knee when I'm there. And, Nick, I should have asked, but I didn't, and I showed up in my suit and tie. I did not show up in my Wyoming cowboy gear like I guess it's appropriate here. So I learned a lesson there, and next time I will show up in my Wyoming cowboy gear.
And we encourage whatever, at least, team you want to support. Again, if you want to bring in Campbell County or at least Thunder Basin stuff, go right ahead. We're all
doors always open for you, Doc.
Well, I can't do that. It's going to be east, south, or central.
This is true, too.
And, again, with KRAE and Johnson, we go right down the list of every school that could be involved. Dr. Brown, let's get right into our meat and potatoes of our questions for you. First off, the question of softball. Women's fast pitch has been front and center for a year plus, and again, I'm sure you're fully aware of this one, even in your days up in Campbell County, that this has been brought about. Women's fast pitch. So I guess I'm gonna come right out of the box and say, where are we at right now?
Absolutely. I appreciate the question. We're in the midst of trying to make a decision as to whether we're going to add softball. We've gone through the process of looking at our numbers and seeing where we're at with making sure that we're equitable across the state, across the sports for our males and females. We've also had the opportunity to give an open-ended survey to our girls. We gave the survey to 1,550 of our girls in the grades 6 through 10 last year to see what they might be interested in. We had 6.6% of those respond that softball was something they were interested in. So that was about 94 of those young ladies said, yeah, softball is where we would like to be. When you look at that overall, that was the largest response to that open-ended question. So we felt like, that's, if we're going to add something, that'd be what we're going to add. Then we broke it down a little bit by grade level, and we had 15 of our ninth grade students would be interested in it, 20 of our 10th grade students, and 15 of our fifth grade students, 20 of our seventh grade students, 12 of our eighth grade students, and at our sophomore level or ninth grade level we had 23, and at our 10th grade level we had 24. So we felt like that was a pretty darn good start to see how things were at. We looked at it across triads again and felt like that was a fairly good representative of that.
Now, regarding the numbers there, not to cut you off, at least Dr. Brown, but regarding that, again, the open-ended survey where we've not so much criticized it, but we kind of broke it down of where, again, going back in my day, again, with the surveys and hell, even where I'm at right now, 28 years of old, where you see a survey, and again, going back and being a part of those, at least survey classes in high school, junior high, whatever it is, you have fun with it. Sometimes you might have those class clowns or someone in there where, hey, it's a survey, I'm just going to have fun and just kind of goof on this. And again, it doesn't reflect my grade, so why should I care about this? Now, basically, my question to you, Dr. Brown, about these numbers, how confident are you and the board, at least with Laramie County School District number 1, confident that this is accurate information that you're receiving about who is all interested in softball for at least here in town?
Well, I'm assuming you're one of the 26 girls that put baseball down then. So, no, I mean, we had girls that put down baseball. And actually, whenever I looked at it, I would have counted those 26 girls as somebody who probably would be interested in playing softball. But that's not where we ended. We went out and we did do a survey, a closed-end survey where you just selected, and we sent that out to the exact same kids. Well, I'm going to say they were 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students at that time because we gave it out in the summer. We had 926 responses. We sent it to parents and to students because we didn't know if students would answer their email, but we figured parents would, and back and forth with that. So 711 of those were parents, 215 were students, 492 indicated they would be interested in participating in softball. Of the parents, 132 of the girls said that they would be interested in participating. So we had about 73% of both our parents and our girls say we'd be interested. So we're feeling much better about numbers once we look at that. When we broke it down by triad again, we had about 272 parents and 88 students say they were interested in softball. In the East Triad, we had 278 parents, 64 students that were interested. South, we had 163 parents, 63 students. So there's probably a little duplication in there between parents and girls that did that, but feeling like there's a good representation there. And then we did the same thing as we looked at grade levels and feel like there's a good breakdown of being able to support that if we started that. And again, that's just looking at starting it.
Dr. Boyd Brown, Laramie County School District #1 Superintendent, joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Dr. Brown, I made this statement on this radio station about if this comes to fruition, which, in my own personal opinion, I hope it does. I don't have a dog in the fight anymore. My children have graduated. But again, I've had the opportunity to be on the coaching side of it, especially with the city league. So I understand how important it is sometimes for these young ladies that don't participate in volleyball, or they are swimmers or cross country, whatever the case may be. And the statement I made, and I throw it out to you, and just to get your opinion, I felt this would be more of a fall sport than a springtime sport, just simply for the fact you have volleyball in play, you have cross country, you have tennis, you have golf. I'm not sure if swimming is into the fall season, but I would feel that it would be better weather, at least a couple months, if we went September through the end of October. And I think most of these young ladies are coming off seasons, whether it's city or within, we'll use the Extreme as an example. I just felt that would be more beneficial if we did something in that realm. I just want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, the Wyoming High School Activities Association would make that decision, and they've already made the decision that it would be in the springtime. I believe the reason that they've done that is because one of the largest participated in sports that we have only for girls is volleyball. So I think that they felt like they didn't want volleyball competing against softball if they offered it, knowing that every season we have some sport that you're going to be competing against. And we did a little bit of a comparison, asking kids about that in our last survey as well, and didn't feel like we were going to really cause too much grief to the track team, to the spring golf team, to the soccer team. Again, I think there's a lot of logic to having the best weather in the fall, but I think the reality was that they didn't want it going up against the single sport that's only for women or girls.
You're in tune to all of this, and again, it's not your first rodeo. Obviously, you know what was happening up in Campbell County, as it is here in Laramie County. Again, monies that come to Laramie County School District #1. The students are always first and foremost. Student athletes and their participation. Again, that's bonus, I guess, for Laramie County School District #1. But in this day and age where monies are a little tighter, is this something that our school district would be able to afford for the 3 high schools to add that program?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that myself and the school board is wrestling with the most. We've cut about $4.5 million, or we're funded at about $4.5 million less than we were a few years ago. So there's some things that we've not been able to do. I think everyone is concerned that here we've got something that we're looking at doing in activities. Are we going to cause some problems in the other areas? And so I've been working with both Dave Bartlett, who's my associate superintendent on the support side. You guys might know a couple of his kids, so they've done fairly well.
Yeah.
And then Jed Ciccarelli, who is my business manager, who came over from the Wyoming Department of Ed. And both of them are looking at some different ways that we might be able to take care of that. To give you an example of exactly what we think our estimate would be, and again, this does not include anything for fields. We would start out at least by working with the city or the Air Force to use or rent or work with them to do fields. I think the city would be very good about working with us. We have a lot of our gyms that are used by them for rec league stuff all the time. So I don't see that as being a problem. I do see it as, if we get 3 to 5 years down the road and things are going really well, we're flourishing there, that it might be at that point where we may have to do some more things. What we've currently talked about is it's much more efficient to maybe put in a complex than try to have it at each one of our schools. To tell you the truth, you guys have been at each one of those schools, and there's not much land left at any of them with everything that we've already got there. So that's kind of some of the discussion that we've had if things move forward. Again, I think that we would start without us owning fields or trying to put in fields, but have a few years before we would look at that. Our estimate is that for each one of the schools to start the program, it would cost somewhere around $68,000 to $69,000 for each one of the high schools, and that's getting uniforms and everything that we would need to start out with. So across the district, we're thinking it's going to be somewhere around $205,000 to $210,000 to get that started for the first year. Ongoing, then you don't have to buy everything every year, but you have to replace bats on a cycle. You have to replace your uniforms on a cycle. You have to replace your catching gear on a cycle. And so our estimate there is that it would be somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 each year. Some years you're going to have to spend a little more because of just what you're replacing. So we're assuming that it would be, or estimating that it would be somewhere between $150,000 to $180,000 each year. And like I said, we're working within our budget to see if there's some areas that we could come up with that amount of money to be able to fund softball. That was one of the things at our last board meeting that the board tasked me with. And so, whenever I get tasked with that, somebody else has to do all the work. So Dave and Jed are working on that. So I guess the question there is kind of looking at it. I think, or I would say that I think the board in theory supports having opportunities for kids, especially having another opportunity for our young ladies. I think the big issue is, here we've gone through 3 or 4 years where we've had to cut a lot of different things. We've even made it into some of the, we have fewer teachers because of that. And now is this, politically, is it a good time to add a sport that's going to cost money in that realm? But I think we'll get through all that, and we've got one meeting in September. I plan on bringing the information to the school board at that September meeting and bringing a recommendation for softball, and we'll see where the board stands at that time, whether they support it or not.
Yep. And want to give an update regarding at least current cities and also to at least counties that have approved this so far. At least of our information so far, it's been 7 cities. That includes Cody, Campbell County, Green River, Kelly Walsh, Natrona County, Rock Springs, and Thunder Basin. Albany County, at least Laramie's looking into it. I do believe that they're in the process, same as here in Laramie County School District number 1, as they're trying to get that at least situated, as this is an activities association, at least. The plan is, our understanding when we talked to Ron Laird, Commissioner of the Activities Association, this is a 2021 project, so still some time to get this all in place. But outside of that, for you, Dr. Brown, it's something that we talked with Cheyenne Extreme manager Adam Galicia, again, a guy who is synonymous with softball here in town, if not synonymous here across the state of Wyoming. He is a phenomenal, at least, product of what he does to kind of promote softball and young women to at least in that athletic sport. Was there ever a thought, or at least will there be an opportunity to meet with Adam Galicia at a point in time to get his opinion on again, whether it is trying to figure out costs of maybe not so much cutting costs, but here's how we can save $1 or $2 here on just grouping gloves or grouping helmets like this. Here's what we could do on field, or trying to get logistics out like that. Is that a plan that you foresee or the board foresees to kind of look towards an Adam Galisa here in town, or some of the at least club or at least rec managers as well too here in town that already put on softball for our young athlete, at least young women athletes?
Yeah, we've already talked to them. We met with them last, I can't remember whether it was January or February. I think we met with the coaches of the Extreme. They support having a girls softball team. One of the things that I wanted to make sure of as the superintendent, I'm not recommending that we have girls softball, and our club folks out there are saying, we'd rather have those girls in clubs starting in March. But no, they support it. Again, looking at costs and everything, we haven't gone down that road of sitting down with them. But again, I don't think we're very far off with our estimates, and I'm not sure that we would $1 or $2 here would make a difference for us. So again, I think we just know that they support it, and that they would like to move forward with it. One of the things that we're going to need is we're going to need certified coaches. We're assuming some of those. And by the way, my daughter played against him as she went through Campbell County's club sports. So familiar with him, know he's done a good job, and know that we battled frequently. I don't believe that they took advantage of doing the club in the fall like Campbell County and Casper and Rock Springs and some of the other teams had done with some of the club sports there. But I know that he's well thought of throughout the state as a quality coach.
We're going to keep Dr. Brown here. We're going to take a break in just a bit. Real quick, I want to go to the advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, as I'm hearing, and we'll also go bad news first. Disadvantages to having softball for all three of our schools. Monies, and you laid that out pretty much on a platter for us. What other disadvantages would come to the forefront by adding fast pitch to our three high schools?
I don't see a lot of downturn there. Again, activities are one way to get our students connected. The other thing that I could see is if we don't have enough students at one of our schools, we would probably run now I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they would go to one of the other schools in a collaborative effort to be at the other schools. At this point, with the information that we have from the surveys, I think we would have enough. But that could be one of the downturns. Another one is that we don't have our own fields, so we have to work with whoever we have. My understanding is there's some issues with getting on the fields with the city maybe early enough, so it maybe have to be a collaborative with some other things too. Or the city may just say, for this we'll allow you to get on there. Anytime you've taken care of grass fields, that the earlier you get on, the tougher it is to keep track of them. And I've been by the softball parks often enough to know that as soon as about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock rolls around until the lights go closed about 12 or 10 o'clock at night, the softball fields are used. So it's awfully hard on them, and I respect the work that they have to do to keep them good. So I see that as one issue that, at least for a while we might have. But I don't see a lot of downturn on that. Again, on the positive side, I think it gives one more opportunity for our students to get connected. We know that our students who are involved in activities are required to keep their GPA up, attend school, that they do a little bit better job. Even some of our students that only do one sport usually do better, or one activity. I shouldn't say sport, because we've got plenty of activities out there that are not sports that help connect kids there too. But it's one of those things that we know that it's beneficial for students. It's a great way to get into leadership, being involved in activities, whether it's FFA, speech and debate, or one of our sports, just being a leader in each one of those areas, and learning how to be part of a team and collaborate in a productive manner. You have to be productive, and you have to be able to do it positively anytime you're a part of a team or the team doesn't do nearly as well. It's that sigma of being on a team that makes it successful whenever you're out there.
We're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll get ready to wrap things up with Dr. Boyd Brown, Laramie County School District No. 1 Superintendent. We're back after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you.
Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Perotti inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480krae.com.
Did you know that in rural areas of Laramie County, electricity is reliable and affordable because of High West Energy? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op owned by the 10,000 customers we serve, and that includes F.U. Warren Air Force Base and 20 subdivisions around Cheyenne. For more than 75 years, High West has been proud to play a part in the steady growth and economic development of this region, while also contributing to local nonprofits, charities, and civic organizations.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. This week's Super Radio buys, heard only right here, feature Pepsi products, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, $4.99. Jose Cuervo Gold or Silver Tequila, 750 milliliter bottle, $13.99. And Keystone Light or Ice, 30-pack, 12-ounce cans, $18.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 85. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 51.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today as we held him over, Dr. Boyd Brown, Laramie County School District #1 Superintendent. Dr. Brown, real quick, and we've chatted off air with this softball decision. Obviously, you've tried to gather as much information as you can, dissect everything about the softball program, taking a look at budgets. Again, when this is going to take place, it falls into your lap and then you have to, send your recommendation on to Laramie County School District Board of Trustees, Laramie County School District number 1 Board of Trustees. Not to throw any wrenches into this right now, but is that the process, and are you on a timetable, or does Laramie County School District number 1 school board of trustees say, hey, Doc, we want to get this decision in before the end of the year?
Yeah, no, I've kind of given them a timeline and kind of where I'm going to be. I want to make sure that I've tried to give them as much information as they need, tried to make sure that we've answered any of their questions, working on the budget deal, and we'll let them know kind of where we're at with our thoughts on where that money could come from if they choose to do that. My plan is that in September we have one meeting, and I believe it's the 16th. Now I'm questioning the right day, but I believe it's the 16th. I'll bring that to them. Excuse me. There's a couple different things that they could do if they don't feel like they're ready and need more information. They could always ask me to go get some more information, or they could make the vote that night. So my plan is to bring a recommendation to them on September 16th and kind of see how that moves forward from there.
Let me go on that. I want to continue on with the Laramie County School Board trustees, again voted on by citizens here in Laramie County School District number 1. Question is, has there been pushback, or are you seeing some favorable responses from the trustees, hoping that maybe this might be pushed forward?
Yeah, no, I think as a activity and something that would allow our students to be more involved, especially our female students, I think there's a lot of support for that. On the other side of that, I think it's a political and a difficult question to say we're going to spend this amount of money when we've been cutting in a lot of other areas. To give you an idea of where they'll be at, I've got 7 board members, and I would not want to speak for them individually. And again, they'll take that vote and speak as a group after they get done doing it.
And their word will be final.
Absolutely.
Now, regarding at least that vote coming up here at least in mid of September, is that an open at least invitation to the public to attend this, to see the vote, also to an open invitation for public to at least maybe give their voice and opinion towards softball, whether it's favorable or non-favorable? Is that an opportunity to the folks here in town to come on out and just be a witness to that and kind of at least not so much sway, but just be interactive with the school district?
Absolutely. Each one of our board meetings is a public meeting. We have people there every single time. We have public comment at the beginning of the meeting, and then we also have public comment at the end of the meeting. We've had people that have reached out to board members or administrators previously, through email, through phone calls. We want to be as interactive as we can. That's one of the reasons why we did the surveys. We got as much input as we could there, tried to get input the second time. So again, we do that as much as we can. Our board meetings are live streamed on our YouTube channel, so you can go and watch a board meeting if you can't be there. And they're also kept on the YouTube channel afterwards, so people can see what happened and see how everything happened in the meeting.
So folks who are interested, or at least how they watch our show on YouTube, you do the same thing with the school district as well, too. It's simple enough. But I'll put you on the spot. How do they access that YouTube channel off the top of your head?
It's laramie1.org. If you look for laramie1.org, you'll be able to, if you search that, you'll be able to find it very easily.
All right, simple enough. Now, something that we want to talk about, or it's something that we bring up when we talk about whether it's high school athletics, JUCO athletics here in town. It is the kind of big topic, or something that does create not so much controversy, but it is something that it does have to sit on the back of your mind, and that is Title IX. Now, with the Wyoming High School Activities Association, our understanding is, at least currently for boys, there are 11 sports at least offered. For girls, there's only 10, so that would make, if we get softball here in the state of Wyoming, again, including here in the city of Cheyenne, that would make it even. Now, does that have any implications towards Title IX? Does that help Title IX with kind of keeping those numbers even? Just talk to us about adding softball in Title IX.
Yeah, there's really a 3-pronged approach for Title IX to be compliant. The first one is proportionality respective to the enrollment of each gender. And we're a little concerned about that, whether we would meet that or not right now. I think there are other districts that feel like they've already met that, and that's not an issue for them. The next is that you have a continuing practice of adding a sport or trying to meet a need of the underserved gender. We've not added any sports that were not added for both boys and girls in recent history, so I don't think that we would meet that prong. And then the third prong would be to go out and survey and see if there's a need out there and then try to meet that need. So, I mean, that's what we're in the middle of right now. So we think that if by going out and seeing if there is interest in any sport, was what we first did. That's why it was open-ended. The largest one was softball with our females, and so then we did the second one. And we feel like there's probably some people out there that would participate that aren't right now, that would put us into much closer compliance with Title IX, and probably, at least for a while, put us into compliance with Title IX because we meet that second prong on the test, that we did add a program for our underserved gender.
Final thought for me, and when we can expand on this here a little bit, would be boundaries. And again, as you take over the reins here in your second year, and again, you have your triads with East and KRAE, and you have Central, McCormick, South, along with Johnson. Again, we're seeing some population explosion, so to speak. You're seeing it out there on the south side. You're seeing more new homes being built. Again, people are buying homes at a rather rapid pace here in the Cap City. Do you have set numbers for each of our three high schools? So, and I'm going to throw this out here, Doc. 1,500 at Central, 1,500 East, and 1,600 at South. Do you try to keep those numbers all within the same?
Yeah, that's not what we're trying to do, but our numbers are fairly close, especially at the elementary level, and our junior high numbers are a little larger on the south side than they are in the other two triads. Our high school numbers aren't quite as close as the other ones, but we're going to have to serve the students that come into our district. We're growing at a rate of about 1 to 2% a year, which is about somewhere between 100 and 150 students a year. And again, that's across 13 grade levels. But we know that we're going to continue to grow. We know that houses are in demand. If they could build houses faster, we would probably grow a little bit faster than that. And again, we're going through a most cost-effective remedy study with the school facilities department to try to make some decisions on where we should add schools so that we can take care of capacity, and then also which of our schools we should probably replace or renovate. We've got a lot of old elementary schools in the district that we need to take care of too. So we're working on all of that as we move forward. At some point, my opinion is that we're going to grow large enough that we probably would be looking at another high school and another junior high out there somewhere. Now, that would probably be 15, 20 years out there. I will probably be pushing daisies by that time.
Let's hope not.
But no.
Because I'm about your age. Let's hope not.
No, but I mean, I probably won't be here, but we want to put a good foundation underneath to make sure that we're ready for that. As far as trying to adjust boundaries frequently, that's a very big dissatisfier for people whenever they go out there and they try to purchase a home and say, I want to live here. I really want my kids to go to this triad. When we're trying to look at it more as a triad and get the state to look at it more as a triad for us too, so that we can try to develop that as we move forward. Again, we work very closely with the city and the county on the number of houses they're looking at putting into different subdivisions. We've got some really large subdivisions that they're looking at over the Whitney subdivision.
On Highway 30, yeah.
Yeah, and then you look at south, and I don't know what the name of that one is. This one is, but they're looking at about 800 homes between South, Triumph, Rossman, and I think the railroad over there. I think they're looking at about 800 homes there. You look at, and I'm going to call it wrong, I think it's Saltgrass, that's south down by the college, and the number of homes and everything that they're looking at putting in down there. So we try to keep up with that. We try to keep up with when they're going to get started on those and how they're going to work on those. We know from experience that when you put an elementary school into a subdivision, it's probably one of the first ones that will grow. Our evidence there is when we put in Saddle Ridge, there were probably only 20 homes out there. Now Saddle Ridge 1 is all complete, Saddle Ridge 2 is starting, and that K4 school is pretty darn full already. So we know that we're going to have to deal with that area as well. So again, I think it's just looking at all the statistics that we have and trying to make the best decisions we can on where we're going to put schools.
Dr. Boyd Brown, Laramie County School District No. 1 Superintendent, joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Doc, thank you so much for joining us. A very entertaining conversation, and looking forward to your recommendations and the School Board of Trustees vote coming up on women's fast pitch.
Sounds good. Thanks. And I will dress appropriately next time. I promise I come.
Shorts are optional.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more after these words on 1480 KRAE.
Introducing Digital Wallet, a new way to pay with Platte Valley Bank. Add your Platte Valley Bank debit card to Google Pay, Samsung Pay, or Apple Pay, and have the ability to make purchases with just your phone. It's secure, simple, and accepted by millions of merchants worldwide. Try it today or check out pvbank.com for more information.
In life, you question everything. The same should be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra Chicken Sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480krae.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 85. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 51.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Perotti along with Nick Perotti. Again, thank you so much to Dr. Boyd Brown for joining us here on our program to give us his thoughts.
Who answered a lot of our questions that we've
definitely
had. Yeah, so again, trying to figure out the situation of what what will happen. Again, it's ultimate up to that vote, that board vote coming up again mid-September, which, again, as you heard from Superintendent Brown, again, encouraging folks to head on out, go attend that, to also to be a part of that public forum, to kind of voice their opinions, whether it's yay or nay about high school softball here in the Cap City. Again, as our understanding, as we talked off air with Dr. Brown, Albany County, or at least for Laramie, their vote will be happening, I do believe, tonight to at least establish if they will join the other 7 cities around the state of Wyoming to be a part. Again, for the Wyoming High School Activities Association, they need 8 cities to commit, 8 schools essentially to commit. Laramie would be that 8th city where they can move forward and establish 2021 to go forward with high school softball. So we'll see what happens out of Laramie. But again, the key, at least here in the state of Wyoming, obviously here in Laramie County School District number 1, all eyes are on that vote coming up September, since again, let's be honest with what is happening with our club sport. Again, with Cheyenne Extreme, you look at the rec leagues as well too here in town. It'd be a disservice if Cheyenne, if South, East, and Central are not a part of this high school softball initiative that is happening here across the state with the talent of young ladies that we do have here in town, again, who have established themselves, whether it's rec or club league here in the city.
Well, and again, not everybody goes out for track. Not everybody goes out for spring golf. We can go right down the list.
Yeah, not everyone goes out for volleyball.
As a matter of fact, we've talked to a couple of the ladies that Adam brought in during the course of the season, and some said, hey, I'm just focusing on softball only. So, during the school year, obviously their studies are most important.
Yeah.
And they're practicing for their club team, whenever they get that opportunity. So, again, you're opening the door. This is my opinion. You're opening the door, and again, he threw some numbers at us. There are quite a few young ladies, along with parents, that are interested in this.
Yeah, without a doubt. But the main factor, whether it is, and again, ironic with the Cheyenne Extreme, where obviously monies do have to be doled out to at least travel, and again, for equipment costs, whatever it may be, again, maintaining the fields, all this, again, everything in life costs money at this point in time. So, again, the big concern is it in the budget for Laramie County School District number 1, again, to fulfill all 3 high schools here in town, to get those teams, get the equipment, get them at least locked into Converse, Bremer Park, if not also to install a new at least complex as well, whether it's on the south side of town. Again, it all costs money, and that was the big hesitation, and that's the only thing that would cause a bit of a hiccup here if we see that vote go to a no coming up in September. Again, monies are the big issue.
Yeah, obviously in this day and age, and again, when we get that opportunity to talk to our athletic directors, they are handed X amount of dollars, and that is for the 11 sports currently for men, for boys, and
replacement jerseys, for new jerseys, for again
travel,
tail pads, again helmets, whatever it may be, again new basketballs, new netting, new tennis rackets. Again, it all costs money, and obviously they have to figure out a way to divvy all that up. And again, with softball being added, don't foresee that being too much of an issue. Again, we know at least have confidence in our ADs here in town that will at least have that ability and make sure that everyone is taken care of on an even spot. But again, that is all monies divvied out from Laramie County School District number 1 to those 3 athletic directors here in town to figure that out. But again, the ultimate question is, will the district have that money? Is that money available, or is it going to ultimately have a negative trend for years to come regarding the school district, where they do have to look at cutbacks, whether it is in activities or
as he said, on the political side, obviously Laramie County School District number 1 Board of Trustees, the ball will be in their court.
Yeah,
no matter what the recommendation is from Dr. Brown. But they also have to realize, if they vote yes, which I would hope they would do.
Yeah, I would think majority of people in this town would.
Well, but again, then they have to sit down as a school board of trustees, and they got to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
So again, where Dr. Brown laid it out very finely, and again, I appreciate him coming in loaded for bear with us with numbers. And again,
that's what we want, his numbers to get.
I know, but the board of trustees now have to sit down and go, okay. And I'm not speaking on their behalf, but I'm just saying, if they do vote that way, they're going to have to come up with let's just throw out a real number, $250,000. Where is the $250,000 going to come from? What programs do you cut? Do you ask every program to give 5% back? I don't know. That's something we would have to ask a Jerry or Chad or Mark.
Or is it something that they don't have to cut back, but they find some other ways to get monies in, whether it is from private donors, possibly here in the state, if not here in the city of Cheyenne, trying to do some sort of fundraising, again, looking towards the state possibly. Again, there could be other avenues, not just so much looking on the negatives of cutbacks or trying to eliminate programs or, again, taking monies away from already established sports and activities. There's avenues, and I would hope, obviously, those who are part of that board, again, Superintendent Brown, they know what the options are and how monies can become available to Laramie County School District number 1 and also to our 3 triad schools of how we can make this possible.
Well, Nick, that's all fine and well, but again, you're going to go to this, and you got until 2021 to get this figured out.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead.
The clock is quick, at least ticking down pretty quickly now.
And you can go to the state, and the state may turn their back on you because, again.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Well, again, everything's getting cut back.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's just not Laramie County School District number 1. You can only drain private investors so much. You just can't keep going and saying, open your wallet, open your wallet. You can't do that, which they probably would because they're wonderful people. But, again, it's going to have to come within the district. And one thing that Dr. Brown said that was very poignant was that, there are a few teachers short.
Yeah.
So
that's
you need to ask yourself your question, too. Are instructors needed at all
without a doubt.
levels?
Again, it is something where they're going to learn that is first and foremost for these high school athletes. Again, you're there to get your education, and then activities come second. But it is... Again, what is the most important thing right now on the docket where you can talk with Superintendent Brown? Obviously, it's to get teachers in and try to fill those classes and get that situated for whatever missing programs are there, or at least missing learning opportunities for those students and student athletes there at East Central and South. So that is, I would assume, on their mind. That should be the biggest issue. Then everything else comes in behind.
And this is a daunting task right now. Again, if you are a school board trustee and this is going to be brought to your decision making.
Well, no one said that job's any easy.
Well, no, and that's why you're voted in.
Yeah.
And again, you need to talk to the constituents about it. But the thing is, whether it's a yay or nay from Dr. Brown, and then they got to sit there and vote on the recommendation. And, again, they got to sit there in the back of their mind going, where do we come up with this magical money?
Well, again, before that decision, you got a full month right now to figure that out. And granted, they've been talking about this as, again, we talk with at least Dr. Brown, again, talking with at least softball entities here in town all the way back up in January. This has been discussed for quite some time, so you've had time to look at the budget, look at what monies are available, where you can find monies if possible as well too. So it's not like this has been rushed upon them. They've had time, and they got one more month now to figure this out before that major vote.
Well, also too, and I know we need to get into the 4 o'clock hour, and our next guest, who will be Brad Morrison, Burns football head coach. The thing is, the bar has been set, the table has been set, so to speak. I think the benefits, if you look down the road, the benefits of women participating in fast pitch at all 3 schools, it's going to enhance our city programs.
Yeah.
I think it's going to...
It would boost numbers for those city programs as well, too, of those who might have been on the fringe.
And also, too, our competitive program, obviously the extreme. Does it open up an opportunity for another competitive team?
As we talk with Adam, it just sure as hell does.
So, there's a lot of doors that are going to open. And then also, too, as you mentioned, Title IX. We're even up now, 11-11.
11-11.
So, and again, usually, like you said, we go with the girls, boys, and we add a girls sport. Well, this time we're going to go outside of the box and just only add a girls sport, and that evens up. In this day and age, being politically correct, I think that's the perfect thing to do.
Well, here in the equality state, you might as well make those numbers equal at 11-11, so it all makes sense. But again, coming up September, again, middle of September, as Dr. Brown said, again, that vote will happen here in town, and we'll await the decision of will we have high school softball here in Cheyenne, or will we not have high school softball? Again, that vote is coming up here in about a month here in town.
All right, we got to move into hour number 2, and we'll be right back.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local. It's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And welcome once again to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. It's hour number 2, being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, and for a limited time, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich at all Taco John's. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Kick a few tires, take a test drive, and take home the Kia of your dreams today. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Banking, again, over on the north side. You can catch them at the original location over on Vanda High, and, of course, the east side location at the corner of College and Pershing. Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Bowers Field, and Menards, 2 convenient drive-thrus, serving up 3 squares Monday through Saturday for a limited time. Tick, tick, tick. Clock is counting down on their Smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich, along with their strawberry passion tea lemonade. Check them out. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Delrange. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Again, on Bluegrass Circle. Same location as always, right next door to Texas Roadhouse, open Monday through Saturday. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard, all part of Lennox Enterprises. Again, serving our community needs for 1/4 century. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Again, offering some great CD rates right now. And again, across the street, it's Mondello's Pizzeria, offering Paisan cuisine at its best. Not corporate. Family recipes every day from Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. And we go over to Nick, who has Bupkis for a scoreboard.
Well, if anything, I can remind folks, coming up August 30th on Friday, at least here at the end of the month, again, we will have high school football here on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com. Our first contest of the Class 4A football season for 2019. It will be Cheyenne East hosting Campbell County McCamels there at Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. So looking forward to that. Again, our first contest, week 0 for high school football here in the state of Wyoming. I do want to remind folks, again, Cheyenne Post 6, as their season has come to an end, but at least they're looking forward to 2020 right now. Cheyenne Post 6 hosting tryouts coming up tonight. Incoming freshmen, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Powers Field. Incoming softs through seniors, their tryouts are 7 o'clock to 8:30 tonight at Powers Field. Tomorrow for the Indian squad, that is incoming 8th graders, that is 5 to 7 p.m. for both of these tryouts. Today, again, for the freshmen, soft, seniors, for the Indian squad, and all tryouts are free. Just they ask you to arrive 30 minutes early to pre-register and warm up for these tryouts.
Major League Baseball, we've got some finals in the books, so let's get to them right now. The White Sox have defeated the Astros 13-9 today at Guaranteed Rate Field. The Brewers have gone final with their game against the Twins 6-5. Game still in progress. The Diamondbacks and the Rocks, they're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. They are knotted up at 5 apiece. Bottom of the 7th inning at Petco, Padres 5, Rays 2. Top of the 8th in San Francisco. The Athletics are putting a whooping on the Giants right now, 7-0. Bottom of the 5th inning, Nationals 7, Reds 1 at Nats Park. Other finals, Rangers 7, Blue Jays 3. Orioles have lost to the Yankees again, 6-5 in the Bronx. Red Sox topping the Indians 5-1 in Cleveland. Games getting underway. When we get off the air, it will be the Phillies hosting the Cubs, Mariners, and the Tigers at Comerica at 5:10. Also at 5:10, Dodgers Marlins from Marlins Park in Miami. 5:20, Mets and the Braves at SunTrust Park in Cumberland, Georgia. In the 6 o'clock hour, a couple of games. It will be the Pirates and the Angels at Angel Stadium, Anaheim, and our final contest at 6:15. I-70 series continued between the Cardinals and the Royals at Kauffman Stadium. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
All right, if you're a gamer, you know the world of gaming is full of amazing gear. Portable cannons, flying...
Under arrest. Motorists, remember, motorcycles are all around. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
Capital Lumber is lumber one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is lumber one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 85. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 51.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti. And our next guest we bring on via the phone from Laramie County School District number 2. That would be Brad Morrison, the Burns Bronx head football coach. And, Coach, we thank you so much for joining us here on this Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, guys.
Now, as we talked to Coach Gray over in Pine the other day, I'm venturing to say that you haven't had that opportunity to have the kids come to camp yet.
Nope. Yeah, we haven't started practice yet.
So let me ask you this question, Coach, just out of the box. And again, you're in that situation like Coach KRAE. Kids are, part of the farming community, and they're doing so many athletics throughout the course of the season at Burns High School, and sometimes during the summer they just need some time off. But what kind of numbers are you expecting to come out on Monday?
So last year we had 28 at the start of the season, and this year we're looking at about 40 kids, give or take one or two.
So again, with numbers being up, what does that do for you and your coaching staff when you have that luxury? And again, I'm going to use that word luxury when you have extra kids that are going to be available to you throughout the course of the year.
Well, there's no doubt it's a luxury. You're definitely more injury proof than you would be. It lets you practice in a different way too. We can get more groups going, get more kids participating, and at their level. So I mean, it's a huge positive in every way. More kids is more chances for you to connect with those players and teach them something about life.
How many returning lettermen do you have?
24.
There you go.
So again, a lot of vets, at least being a part of this Burns Bronx team coming up here in 2019. But before we get into this season with you, Coach, let's look back to 2018 for Burns, going 4-4 overall in Class 2A, part of the East Division. At least conference-wise, went 2-4. Unfortunately for the Burns Bronx, did not make it to the playoff. At least didn't have a playoff opportunity. Notable as well too, part of 2018 for Burns had a bit of a 3-game losing streak there in the middle, where lost unfortunately at Buffalo, there at Burns, taking on Wheatland, lost to them, and the loss at Glen Rock. But just give us a quick recap of the 2018 campaign for the Bronx.
Yeah, it was a good step for us. I think in those games that you mentioned, the big difference was just the physicality that those teams had, the tradition that they have. When you talk about Buffalo and Wheatland and Glen Rock, those are good programs that have been good for a while. Their kids go lift. Their kids are committed to their team, and they believe they're going to be successful. Same thing with Thermopolis. I think Coach McPhee's getting that going up there. I think our big goal, looking back at last year, about what we need to do to be competitive with those teams, is to get a lot stronger, get a lot faster, and then get more guys on the boat with us. And I think we've done a really, really good job of that this summer. So I think that I think we'll be in those. I think we'll be in those this year, and I think we've got a really good shot.
And talk about last season as well with 2018. The difference was at least for Burns Bronx, you were the home warriors. You took care of business at home other than one loss, but you went 3-1 on the road. However, for Burns, it was a tough, at least, situation for the Broncos. Again, going 1-3 last year. Just talk about that difference of your team being prepared at home, but just having a little difficulty on the road.
Yeah, I'd probably attribute some of that, to travel. Some of those games are really long when you're in that 2A. Even though if you're on the east side of the state, that's an overnight trip in the middle of the year. And we are going to really try and do things to make sure that we're travel proof and we're conditions proof, and that that the kids get in the mindset that it doesn't matter where we're playing, doesn't matter who we're playing. We expect the same things from ourselves. But the other thing, on the other side of that, we got a great crowd. We got a ton of support. I've had a ton of support since I've been here. And our home crowd really got behind us last year, and that was awesome.
We're talking with Brad Morrison. He is the head coach of the Burns Bronx. Coach, not to make excuses either for you or your team, and I know sometimes us media guys do these kind of things, but I look at the loss last year at Buffalo and Wheatland, and even against the Herders at Glen Rock. But we're also looking at teams too that also at one time were Class 3A. We're talking teams that are bigger population base. Glen Rock's right in between Douglas and Casper, so a little more to draw from.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, you look across, and we've got 12 kids on the sideline, and they got 30. That can be intimidating if you're in that mindset, but we want to be in the mindset where it's us against everybody anyways. So however many however many they got on the sideline, that doesn't matter. We still got 11 on 11, and if we can get our 11 to beat up their 11, we'll be all right.
Looking at small community football, Pine, Burns here, especially I-80 to the east of us, it's kind of the thing to do on a Friday night. Talk about the fan support. Again, the community support that this high school football team receives, even when Pine and Burns get together.
Yeah. I mean, it's outstanding, and I think it's going to improve even more this year. Just the support at games, but also just being around town and people tell you good luck, coach, and they're happy to see you and they're proud of the boys. I'm getting a lot of people in building that are really excited. Said, we're going to be at every game. We're going to travel to games. We just want to watch you guys play. And there's something special about small school football, and that just they're your boys. You've known them since they were kindergarten, and they've played together since they were kindergarten. And some of these guys, we got 12 seniors coming into our last ride together, and these guys have fought through a lot, and the community's behind them, the staff's behind them, and I think I just think there's nothing like it.
And looking forward, at least now moving and transitioning into 2019 for Burns, looking at the schedule really quickly as you just flip roles, again, moving the homes and aways around. But week 1 for Burns is happening at least September 6th. There in Burns, you'll take on Wright. Week 2, you'll be at Moorcroft, home for Buffalo. You will be at Wheatland, home for Glen Rock. Away, again, the short trip over to Pine Bluffs from week 6. Week 7 on the road against Newcastle, and week 8 home against Thermopolis to round out the 2019 campaign for the Bronx. But for you, Coach, for this season, what games on your schedule have you kind of marked down of, hey, these are must-wins, or we got play some solid ball here to get the victory?
Well, they're all big ones. I got to say that. But, I think certain teams, for us and for me, teams that have had success are the ones with targets on them. And we've got something to prove to the teams that beat us last year. One big one, Glen Rock hung 80 points or something on us last year, and we've got that's been a big motivation for us in the weight room. Whenever stuff gets hard, we remember we got to play Glen Rock. We got to play Glen Rock, and we owe them something. So I think that's one we're looking at. Love the Pine Bluff game. I'm excited for the first one too. To get out, it's going to be a loud crowd. Kids are going to be really pumped up. And then that finishing with Thermopolis coming here to me is an important game. Probably again, just like last year, playoffs on the line. So, but we can't look to week 8. We got to take care of the stuff heading up to it so that it does mean something when we get there. But I think I think what I've been telling the kids is that we owe people something this year.
And looking at Class 2A encompassing for 2019, now going back to 2018 in Class 2A, Buffalo were your champions. They were the state champions on the football side of things. My question to you, Coach, is Buffalo, do they have a chance to repeat? Are they still the favorites to get that state title? Or who are some contenders that are on your radar in Class 2A?
Yeah, I think Buffalo's, the way they got it rolling up there, Coach Hammond has a system, and kids believe in it, and they've got a culture of competence and confidence up there. I think that culture defeats everything at the end of the day, and they have something where they believe in each other, they believe in the coaches, and that's what we're trying to develop. I think that they'll definitely be a favorite. Thermopolis will be really good this year. They bring a lot back. Wheatland brings a lot back. As far as on our east side and teams that we'll play, those teams really stick out to me as bringing back a lot of the talented kids they had last year and existing in that culture, like I said, culture of competition, culture of confidence.
As we talked with Coach Gray here a few days ago, ask you basically the same question too during the summer. And again, some of your student athletes are playing baseball and again, doing things maybe around the family farm, for example. Question is to you, how do you get these young men together to do some type of camps? Did you guys do any camps? What was your summer like during the off season?
Yeah, we got up to the Black Hill State team camp hosted by Coach Reiners and the Black Hills State University staff, and had a great 3 days there. We had double our participation numbers in the weight room this year, which is huge for us because we have kids that drive 40 miles to get to an hour weightlifting session, and then go drive 40 miles back, and then go to work. And that's a big chunk of our kids. So it means something here to get to weights and to have 2/3 of our team at weights every day this summer. The kids look different; they look stronger. You can see it, coming out. And then the other really cool thing that a couple parents did for us, because we have those kids traveling in the summer. Sometimes it's late, sometimes it's early in the morning. We were able to get them some food while they were here. If they came to lift, we got them some peanut butter jelly sandwiches, some granola bars, waters, chocolate milk, and that kind of stuff, just to support them. And that was a really cool piece from the community to come together and allow us to do that for our guys to get fed and get some nutrition when they came into lifting.
Coach, there's a network of coaches like yourself, small schools, and sometimes it's always nice to network with these type of coaches and pick up various things, whether it's offense, defense, or practice techniques. Tell us a little bit what you do to keep yourself fresh, because obviously, and I don't mean this in disrespect, but old dogs sometimes do need to learn new tricks.
Oh, no doubt. And I'm, I've been a head coach for about 20 minutes now, so I got a ton to learn. So I'm always, looking for professional development that way. Twitter's a big resource for me. I'm pretty much on there, all the time. If I'm on my phone, I'm on Twitter looking up, what these coaches are putting out, and it's guys that are a lot smarter than me. And that's a really cool thing about technology and the globalization of our world and our communication is that, I can follow the University of Texas offensive line coach, and he'll put out 3 or 4 clips, every week of drills and things like that I can take from. I listen to a bunch of podcasts. I think I know Coach Gray listens to it. The Run the Power podcast for football coaches is tremendous. The amount of knowledge that they get out, the guys that they get on there to just talk ball is great, because like you said, if you're not learning, if you're still running the offense you ran in 1998, it's probably not super successful. You have to, or at least the way you're doing it, you got to be continually learning, or somebody's going to catch you or pass you. So I do a ton of that stuff on Twitter, follow that, and then I've got some coaches that I played with that are at colleges now that I call for different things, or I'll shoot them a picture and say, how do you defend this, and all that up. So I've got a pretty good network of guys that I can DM or call up and ask them anything I need to.
Did you send them the Glen Rock film and ask how to keep them out of the end zone?
No, we didn't. No, that film went missing. That film went missing sometime briefly after that game was over, I think.
And Coach, one final question from me, and again, on behalf of my son Nick and myself, we want to thank you for joining us, and we wish the Broncs all the best this upcoming season. But your base packages, offensively and defensively, what can we expect the Burns Broncs to come out and show us this season?
Well, yeah, I'd like to say the same to you guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate, getting the chance to promote our program and our kids. And, we're a pretty multiple offensive team. We've been out of the shotgun last year, shotgun 2-back, running a lot of power, a lot of counter, a lot of quicks off of that stuff, a lot of play action. We're still going to be that way. When we return our whole backfield, return 3 out of 5 linemen, and return another receiver out of the 3 receivers we had. So I call us a spread multiple team that tries to give teams a bunch of different looks and look really fancy but be really simple. That's what we try and hang our hat on, is off tackle power behind a fullback, and that's what our kids love to do, and that fits our community, that fits our players too. And it fits me, my personality as a coach. I like to run the ball, so we did that pretty well last year. We're trying to get a lot better at, I think they call it passing, throwing it a little bit this offseason. That's been my main focus, is to try and get us a little more balanced, a little more explosive on the offensive side. And then defensively, we were a 4-4 even team last year, and this year we're going to transition to an odd front 3-4, a little more chaotic, a little more multiple. Lets us get more speed on the field. We've got some pretty good linebacker kids that we think we can put in some spots to make plays and pressure the offense. So we're really, really looking to take a step on defense with how fast we play, how well we tackle, and how confusing we can be to opposing offenses.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Brad Morrison, Burns Bronx head coach, here on 1480 KRAE. And again, we'll briefly run down the schedule before we go to the break here. Again, week 1, they will take on the Wright Panthers. They have Moorcroft week 2. They'll have Buffalo in week 3. They'll have them in Burns. Week 4, they go to Wheatland to take on the Bulldogs. Got the Herders at home on week 5. Pine Bluffs, they will go across the way to take on the Hornets. They'll take on the Dogies. That's the Newcastle Dogies. They'll take care of them in Newcastle, and they'll have Thermopolis at home to wrap up the season.
And again, Thermopolis is the at least former stomping grounds for Brad Morrison, as he talked last year of, hey, I wanted to get the win up there. Unfortunately, did not get it there against Thermopolis. Looking to at least get a victory here coming up this season, 29 there at Burns. But again, also do want to at least incite folks, as you had almost kind of an inside joke regarding the Glen Rock game from last year. That loss for at least for Burns, it was in favor of Glen Rock 76-20. So, again, for Burns, looking to at least avenge some of those losses from last year. And the ultimate goal for the Bronx is to get into the at least playoffs for 2019, which, again, looking at the schedule, should be a little bit in their favor.
Well, and again, it sounds like he's got a veteran team coming out there. Again, a lot of Lettermen. And again,
and added numbers too. So
and added numbers always makes things a little easier for the coaching staff. Take a timeout. We'll be back with more after these words on 1480 KRAE.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra chicken sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra chicken sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Wyoming PACE, program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, has outgrown its current facility. We will now be located at 1200 East 20th Street on July 16th. The new location will allow us to help even more of Laramie County's aging population. At our new Wyoming PACE location, we will continue to offer medical and social health services, as well as transportation and activities for our participants. For more information, please call 307-773-8112.
We're working hard for your business. I'm AJ Miller at Kia of Cheyenne, and right now you could save on the 2019 Kia Forte. The 2019 Kia Forte is priced less, yet still offers standard features not found on most of its competitors. With Kia Forte, you can charge your phone with available wireless charging, voice command navigation, and 8-inch touchscreen to help sync up your world. Come into Kia of Cheyenne or call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Peretti along with Nick Peretti. We were just talking here during the break, and you know, I never in my life really had a lot of allergies, but for some crazy reason, I'm allergic to Febreze.
Yeah, you give me crap for at least the
mowing the lawn. Yeah.
Well, again, which is an actual allergy that people have to go through again with the ragweed or just dirt and all that stuff kicking up. But again,
But the Febreze actually,
it's fragrances. It's the same with people who are allergic to colognes.
But
or at least,
go out in that hallway. It's like somebody dumped a bucket of Febreze. It's
to the building.
It's overwhelming.
Intended or whatever.
Superintendent.
Whatever.
Intended. Give me a break.
Anyways,
so it's like I said, it's just it's been doing some crazy stuff with me today here, so I apologize in advance.
Anyways,
all right, let's get to. I do have this.
Well, do want to mention, and I got something else as well too. As we talk again, I at least want to say thanks again to Brad Morrison again, at least Burns Bronx head coach again football, as we're getting at least ready for all that. As we talked about the 3 triads here in town again, looking outside of the Laramie County School District #1 here in Laramie County with Burns and Pine Bluff. So again, we're getting ready for it again. At least football for the Class 4A starting up here August 30th. September 6th is when 1A, 2A, 3A get underway here in the state of Wyoming. So looking forward to it as we approach football very quickly here in the state of Wyoming. Something that was passed along as we talked about, I do believe yesterday or a few days ago. Wyoming Cowboys, at least basketball non-conference schedule was announced. We had at least dates and opponents set. Also, too, got an insight on some events that the Cowboys will be attending today, passed along to us. We have Wyoming women's basketball, at least the Cowgirls, under new head coach out there. Again, no longer with Joe Legursky, as he said, and called it a career. Again, as we have at least Gerald Mattinson, head coach, first season with the Wyoming Cowgirls. Again, he's been a part of the bench for quite some time, but he knows what to expect out there.
He knows
the drill with the Cowgirls, but we did get the schedule. That also, too, includes dates for Mountain West opponents, but we'll look at the non-conference opponents for the Wyoming Cowgirls coming up 2019-2020. We'll start off first Friday, November 1st.
Adams State has been a traditional exhibition team.
Exhibition game in Laramie, Wyoming. So, and again, an Adams State team that we were anticipated to see part of LCCC last year, at least their JV squad, but that game was unfortunately snowed out for us. But Wednesday, November 6th, how about this? At home in Laramie, Wyoming at the AA for the first, at least, contests of the regular season for the Cowgirls. Colorado Christian will be up here in town, so looking forward to that one. Sunday, November 10th, St. Mary's. How about a West Coast Conference opponent coming to Laramie, Wyoming? So a little interesting non-conference opponent there. Thursday, November 14th, how about down in Denver taking on the Lady Pioneers? Sunday, November 17th, Colorado Lady Buffs will be in Laramie at the AA, so that should be a fun one. A Pac-12 opponent there coming to take on the Wyoming Cowgirls. Saturday, November 23rd, how about at South Dakota State? That's, again, Brookings, South Dakota. Monday, November 25th, at North Dakota State in Fargo. There's that contest. So, again, basically just going across the border, taking on those 2 Dakota, at least, schools. Home, once again, in Laramie, Saturday, November 30th, New Mexico Highlands in town. And then, basically...
Who do we know at New Mexico Highlands?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, he's at western New Mexico, right?
That's nowhere even close.
Okay.
That's in Silver City, New Mexico. But in an interesting situation for Wyoming Cowgirls, they will have conference action for whatever reason in between their non-conference schedule, as they'll be on the road against Air Force in New Mexico. This is Wednesday, December 4th, and Saturday, December 7th. So they'll have a Mountain West Conference games in between their non-conference schedule, so go figure on that one. But again, they're both on the road.
But here's something, too. This is about the time that it's Christmas break time, and so a lot of the students are going to be gone.
Yeah.
And you may want to mark these down in your calendar, because this is going to be a very bulky portion of the schedule for the Cowgirls. They'll step out of conference play.
Yeah, they'll get out of that 2 conference games.
3 straight games.
Well, they'll have at least 5 straight games, including the conference games
at home. But I'm
home.
talking about these 3 non-conference games. Pretty impressive opponents.
Yeah, without a doubt. Thursday, December 12th in Laramie. How about Mississippi Valley State will be in town taking on the Cowgirls? How about Sunday, December 15th, Northern Colorado, the Lady Bears, or at least as we got the understanding last year, again, they're referred to as the Bears, but Northern Colorado will be in town as well. So both Cowboys and Cowgirls taking on UNC.
We remember the NIT, the women's NIT. They gave the Cowgirls, every time the Cowgirls started to pull ahead, remember the Bears, they battled back.
But ultimately, Wyoming did win that game at the AA. So, opponent that the Cowgirls are very familiar with, and we'll see what happens in that contest. How about this Tuesday, December 17th? How about the Lady Zags of Gonzaga? They will be in town, traveling down from Spokane, Washington, to compete against Cowgirls in Laramie, so at the AA. So how about that? 3 straight home contests, non-conference-wise, for the Wyoming Cowgirls. This home contest, or at least homestand, does continue on into the conference Wednesday. This will be looking at January 1st, so New Year's Day. Boise State will be in town taking on the Cowgirls, and then CSU, the Lady Rams, that will be Saturday, January 4th. They'll also, too, be in the AA. So 5 games that include both non-conference and conference there around that Christmas break time, and again, including also, too, New Year's. The Cowgirls basically get to say the AA's home for quite some time.
Yeah, it's about a 3-week stretch there. You definitely have an opportunity to catch one of those 5 games. And again, you're going to be needed because the students are gone.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, there are some big names coming to the AA on the at least Cowgirl side. So, for Cowgirls, compared to where we talk about with the Cowboys, Cowgirls don't really have an issue getting folks out there. Now, if there is weather, for both Cowboys, Cowgirls, it's going to be an issue. I-80, when it is closed, guess what? It cuts off a main artery to get over to the AA and support both of those teams there at the Dome of Doom. But for the Cowgirls, it's not so much of a push saying fans, hey, you need to get out there, because with the Cowgirls, of what we've been seeing and talking with, whether it is Joe Legursky, talking with Coach Mattinson, talking even with AD Tom Bourbon, Cowgirls really don't have that issue of getting fans out there to support and attend these games, even if there are big names coming to the AA, where the Cowgirls probably need at least that home court advantage to probably take down a Northern Colorado and Gonzaga coming up, at least in the 2019-2020 campaign.
And again, like I said, that's a 3-week stretch right there of good basketball.
Some big names.
Yeah, for the Cowgirls especially. And again, if you are a basketball fan, you're really going to enjoy it.
But you're looking at, again, non-conference. You have a Pac-12 opponent coming to town with Colorado. Again, at least West Coast Conference with both, Gonzaga and also to St. Mary's. Northern Colorado, the Big Sky. South Dakota State, North Dakota State. I do believe... trying to think of what conferences they're in. We'll get to that. And then you look at Colorado Christian competing down in that conference, at least, again, part of that, at least Colorado, at least state. So big conferences, big names coming to town, or at least a part of this schedule for the Wyoming Cowgirls. So a team that's, graduated some pieces, but also, too, it's a team that does reload. Confident that it will reload as well, too, under Coach Mattinson. Does have a few players that we're familiar with, again, notable with Jay Johnson from Casper College, again, at least Casper, Wyoming product being a part of the Cowgirls, so looking forward to see if she'll get some time for the Cowgirls this season. But it's a team that's going to be tested. This is, again, not an easy schedule. They didn't slouch on the schedule and get just kind of throwaway teams. No, you got some big names coming to town, or you're heading out to see them.
Well, and also, too, with the philosophy of the Cowgirls, again, Joe Legursky is not going to be patrolling the sidelines. Coach Matson will. And again, the philosophy of Cowgirl basketball pretty much remains the same as it has for, the last umpteen years. So, again, Coach Matson's going to put out a good program. The Cowgirls are going to play good basketball. The Mountain West Conference, again, always is tough. But, again, we don't really know yet where they're going to be positioned. I would venture to say they will be probably somewhere in the top 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt. I don't put it anywhere, at least behind them. Obviously, the key, at least, team to take an eye on, or at least see what they'll be made of this season, is obviously Boise State, the Lady Broncs.
Also got to keep an eye on Boise State. You got to keep an eye on New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico, definitely. Team that was on, at least knocking on the door, that was behind the Cowgirls last year, Fresno State. We'll see what the Lady Bulldogs are about. And if there are any sleeper teams out there, again, will CSU be it?
San Diego State could be that sleeper.
San Diego State, most definitely. Again, would Air Force toss out a good team? Utah State, well, the Lady Aggies. We'll see if there will be that surprise coming up. Also, to a team that I wouldn't put anything against, and we saw them be competitive in the Mountain West tournament a couple of years here and now. Granted, it's being played on their home court, but you can't at least take anything away from the UNLV Lady, at least Running Rebels.
All right. Can we move on to football? Because this came across today.
All right.
Cowboys will be featured on a couple of games on AT&T Sportsnet, which is 26,
no surprise.
26 on the cable system, or you do the HD thing, 526. Looks like October 19th versus New Mexico, and then the next week, the home game versus Nevada. They'll both be televised. The New Mexico game will kick off at 2 p.m. Nevada will kick off at 12 noon. So that's a nice thing, at least. AT&T is not messing with, let's make it at 8:30. At least it's a regional network.
At least they didn't do it for the New Mexico game, where I don't anticipate a whole lot of eyes glued to the screen. Yeah, but you would think that fans are more going to go out for homecoming, go to Laramie to see that game, more than they're going to tune in to watch that, where, let's be honest, again, both programs at this point not expected to do a whole lot of things. And at that point in time of the season, you're talking teams that might be sub 500 where fan bases might already tune out at that point. So we'll see what happens. But
and then again, too, if something should turn around for the Cowboys, Nevada comes into town, and that one we may want to jot down on our schedule because that one could be a key contest. For example, if the Cowboys are a little more successful than we think they're going to be, this might be one that will get them, into the.
I have a
6 wins category.
You could only be helpful for the Wyoming Cowboys, but it's hard to believe as again more information coming out of fall camps and just getting at least an understanding of what's happening with this Cowboy football program. More injuries are happening, especially to the lines. We saw a few players, at least notables, going down for the Cowboys in the past couple of weeks. It's something that it's a bad growing trend for the Cowboys, and you wonder if this is going to plague and just be the theme of 2019 for the Cowboys. Of it's a team that was injured, and there's not much they could have done about it.
Yeah, but again, Nick,
a team that's young as is,
but they are 0-0.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And again, you and me, we are the armchair respondents here, where we say, hey, they're not going to be all this. They may surprise us, and they did do that when Josh Allen.
And I encourage that. I encourage you at least go out there with Sean Chambers and that crew.
I actually think John Chambers will be a lot better this year.
He'll be improved, yeah.
I'm still suspect on his arm a little bit. I'm still, I want to see the cannon.
I think you're going to see more of the feet than you are going to see of at least what he's going to be tossing around this season. Just going off the feeling of how we've seen this offense being run.
If he's going to be running for his life and throwing like Josh Allen had to do or Vanderwall, then he's not going to be a successful quarterback.
And I think you're going to see that a lot out of Sean Chambers, or, again, whether it is Tyler Vanderwall's call at a later point in time of this season. I think that's going to happen, again, due to the injuries of what we're seeing on the offensive line. It's going to be a hindrance. It also, too, is a question mark offensive line of what will they be made of. Is it an offensive line that can handle Missouri's defense? Can it handle, again, Boise State? Can it handle Utah State? Can it handle the offense that's going to be pressed against them from at least defense from Air Force? It's a big question mark right now. Well, it might be a possible scenario that we see throughout the season, a consistent trend of seeing Sean Chambers on the run.
But here's the deal with the Cowboys, and again, I got to throw this out. if we've all jotted an L by the Cowboys against Missouri, okay, then we can move on. But they need to go to Texas State. They've got to win.
And again, the infamous line from Coach Craig Bowl is second quarter of that Mizzou game.
Right.
We haven't understood what this team is.
But they've got to win at Texas State. Got to come home and beat Idaho,
which they will.
And then they got to go to Tulsa, and they got to beat them there.
And not a guarantee against Tulsa.
No, but I'm just saying, for the Cowboys to be successful, by the time they hit their bye week on October 5th, and again, I don't have them at this, but I'm going to tell you, they could, if this all comes to fruition offensively, and John Chambers is the man this year, they could be 4-1. And I throw that out there tongue-in-cheek, but I'm also looking at they go to the bye week, then they go to San Diego State.
I don't think it's out of the realm, but it's going to be a tough possibility.
See here, they go to San Diego State. I don't say they can win there. They come home. They should beat New Mexico. And by the time Nevada rolls in on October 26th, they could vie for their sixth win. Get a bowl
possibly, but again, this team is very ravaged at this point in time, where you're missing a lot of pieces, either on the offensive and defensive side.
Some of it's starting to get a little healthy, where they can plunk them back in.
When you're getting healthy, you're losing pieces like you did yesterday out of camp, where defensive tackle Ravonte Holt, he's missing the season due to a torn ACL. So there's one big hoss on the line that's now gone.
I got you.
So it is, for the Cowboys, it is something where they take two steps forward, but it seems like they're taking a step back.
Defense is going to be – they were already suspect already because of the bodies they lost from last year.
And this just hurts even more, where, again, you're losing a big name like that, a big piece against your defense, at least line, and defensive tackle. He's out for the entire season. It just hurts them that much more, where I think 2019 it's been a consistent theme of what we're seeing spring, summer, fall camp so far, where this team is getting ravaged by injuries, and it's going to already hinder this team that's already behind the eight ball going into 2019.
And again, you're going up against Missouri, and believe me, these guys
that might get ugly.
Well, they're to use the term bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah,
you're going to understand what it's all about when Mizzou rolls into town. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get ready to wrap things up here on Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Introducing Digital Wallet, a new way to pay with Platte Valley Bank. Add your Platte Valley Bank debit card to Google Pay, Samsung Pay, or Apple Pay, and have the ability to make purchases with just your phone. It's secure, simple, and accepted by millions of merchants worldwide. Try it today or check out pvbank.com for more information.
August is the time for everyone to keep enjoying their recreational vehicles, and this includes motorcycles. While you're enjoying the summer months, please remember that alcohol was involved in many motorcycle crashes in recent years. 68% of those crashes occurred June through August. Never drink and drive, especially when operating a motorcycle. The life you take or save may be your own. Be responsible. Drunk driving, over the limit, under arrest. Motorists, remember, motorcycles are all around. Paid for by federal highway safety funds.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is number one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 85. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 51.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Perotti, along with Nick Perotti, as we get ready to wrap up our program here. First off, thank yous again going out to, most recently, Brad Morrison, head coach of the Burns Broncs, giving us a little capsulized version of what we can expect for the 2019 Broncs. And again, taking a look back on last year's team where, yeah, they had some forks in the road, but
it's a team that finished 500, and again, a team that had limited numbers compared to, some other teams at 2A.
But the numbers in 2019 seem to be improved, so that automatically puts a smile on your face. And again, you look at the Cheyenne East of the world, or even Central and South. Again, I don't have the exact numbers, but I'll use East for example, where they've got 100+ kids out. And that's freshmen, JV, and as well as
soft freshmen. Yeah.
You're looking at Burns, where they say they got 40 kids total.
Yeah.
Well,
out of a population base, or at least, again, how many kids in total are freshmen through senior there at Burns High School? Probably, again, not the 1,500 that encompass for 3 different high schools here in town.
Well, as I say, I think Cheyenne East probably has more student population than the actual population of Burns itself.
There you
and
go.
The surrounding communities, which would be like Carpenter, I would venture to say Hillsdale, that type of places where to draw from. Again, I don't know what the actual boundaries are for Burns, who they draw from. We do want to also thank Dr. Boyd Brown, who was in our number 1, Laramie County School District number 1 superintendent, and again, answering our questions. And again, he came prepared. I appreciate that. He brought a lot of numbers with him. He also was very candid with his comments, and we threw everything at him. Even my recommendation to go fall, they said it will be a spring sport. I still believe that's a disaster.
Dr. Brown doesn't have anything to do with spring or fall.
Well, that's up to the high school.
Yeah, that's up to
I think that
Commissioner on Lair and all that. Yeah.
I think that's a wrong move right there myself.
If anything, it does affect Cheyenne Extreme. It does affect the at least leagues here in town.
It won't affect directly. It'll be more of the extreme.
Well, but again, yes, it does have somewhat of an implication. It does have to delay the season a bit for the extreme, or at least they'll have to deal with pieces being away from their team and then have to get them in to at least get that spring and summer at least team all ready for whatever season. But again, it was very intriguing to learn from Doc Brown of the situation of what is going on with Laramie County School District number 1, where they stand with softball, and what's kind of the direction, so to speak, of where Cheyenne could be a part of these 7 other cities, if not 8 cities, as we'll wait on what Laramie decides on tonight.
It sounds like, if I'm not mistaken, over in Albany County,
they should be on.
They should be on board with this.
And again, they will be the 8th city. That's enough for Activities Association to stamp in and say, yes, it's an official sport now.
Right. And again, this is Class 4A. We haven't even gone into the 3As yet, and he kind of gave us some examples.
We got to ease into.
I know, but
we haven't even
we
set
got
up
some examples of those that are interested in Class 3A as well. Just a quick check on the updates here, ballparks real quick. The Rockies have won this afternoon. Yes, they finally beat the Diamondbacks 7-6 at Coors Field. And the Giants, trying to rally, won out in the bottom of the 9th inning as they trail the Athletics. Score right now is 9-5 at Oracle Park. So just a couple scores to throw your way here this afternoon.